The following post is a work of fiction created for entertainment purposes within the video game universe of College Football 26. All characters, events, and storylines, including Coach Clay, Stonewall, Merritt, Frankie the Horn Calderon, and their journey with the UTSA Roadrunners, are entirely fictional and not affiliated with the NCAA, UTSA, or EA Sports. This series is fan-made and made to celebrate the spirit of college football storytelling. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I will be on the call here shortly. We're going to send it out to the studio. Frankie Calderon, live from the Alamo Dome, hosting this battle of undefeated underdogs. The University of Maryland Terrapins enter the game with a 2-0 record. Now, they've played two teams out of the MAC, the UTSA Roadrunners, off of the stunning upset victory in Week 1 and Episode 1 of this series. It was 49-3 against the Texas A&M Aggies, ranked number 21 at the time in Kyle Field, and then a follow-up of that with a pounding of their in-state rival Texas State in the I-35 Classic, 58-0. The UTSA Roadrunners look to take that next step under Clay Merritt and prove they are no slouch, they are no Cinderella, they are here to stay. We send it now to the Alamo Dome on 94.3 with Frankie the Horn Calderon. Good evening and welcome to San Antonio, Texas, here on 94.3 The Bird, home of Roadrunner football. My name is Frankie the Horn Calderon. You are getting set to witness a battle of undefeated underdogs. If you've been keeping along with this Rise of the Roadrunners series, Coach Clay, Stonewall Merritt, and the UTSA Roadrunners, sitting at 2-0 so far, 2 weeks into the season, host the visiting team from the Big Ten Conference, the University of Maryland Terrapins, also touting a 2-0 record. Both teams looking for respect in the eyes of the greater country and within their conference. As we're set here for kickoff under the lights in the Alamo Dome. Kickoff going to land at about the 1-yard line. Let's see what the returner decides to do here. He gets up to the middle of the field. Ball will be spotted in between the hashes. A 21-yard return, and that is where our senior brilliant leader, Robert Henry Jr., coming off a 115-yard, 2-touchdown performance in last week's rivalry game against Texas State, which the UTSA Roadrunners walked away with a 58-0 victory behind a stellar backfield performance, a backfield that is combined for 14 total touchdowns. And here we go for the Roadrunners. First play from scrimmage, handoff up the middle. There goes number 20, Robert Henry Jr., sprinting past the 35-yard line all the way to the 38 on the first play from scrimmage. UTSA with a 2 tight end set to the right, double twins with 2 receivers split out left. Handoff once again to Henry Jr. This time he's met right at the edge of the line of scrimmage, only able to get it forward for a 2-yard gain. That is safety senior leader for the Terrapins, Sean Husky, on the tackle. McCown in the shotgun with Henry to his right. Fake handoff, RPO play here goes to McEwen, and he gets the ball forward for about a 6-yard gain there. And McCown inches his offense forward from the 44-yard line, heading towards midfield. 3rd down and 2. Out of the shotgun, handoff, Robert Henry Jr. He's able to get the first down yardage and across midfield into Maryland territory for the first time in this game. UTSA, the Roadrunners in the white helmets, white pants, navy jerseys, hosting the Terrapins in the white jerseys and red tops and pants. That one slant over the middle to McEwen, another first down for the Roadrunner offense. McCown coming off a 5-touchdown performance a week ago in front of this home crowd, already starting to heat up and finding his favorite target, Captain McEwen, on the outside. Handoff up the middle to Henry Jr. Once again, not too much to speak of, only a 3-yard gain. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 for the UTSA offense. Thomas and Corey and Clark split out to the right. McEwen and Amador the second to the left. Play action fake out of the shotgun, pass over the middle, trying to fit it into a tight window. And that one is swatted down by the linebacker. I don't think McCown ever saw him in between all of the defenders trying to make their way into the backfield. Trips left formation for the Roadrunners, single receiver right. Ball goes into double coverage that time, and McCown hasn't turned the ball over much this season. That probably should have been his 2nd of the year, and now we're going to see a very long field goal attempt. This one's going to be from about 55 out. Chambers not enough behind it that time, had a good correction, good sights on it. We are going to get 0 points out of the Roadrunners' initial drive, first time all season. And now Maryland with a great chance on the road to quiet the 45,000 here in San Antonio inside the Alamo Dome. Set up in the shotgun is Maryland. Bunch formation to their right. Slant goes to the left side. After a broken tackle, he'll sneak past the first down marker. A drive that started at the 28-yard line is now going to be out to the 39 of the Terrapins. The size difference will be evident. We will see if the speed and quickness and relentlessness of this UTSA defensive line can overcome that size difference. As now we get a screen set up from Maryland to the left side. And along the sideline there, that is a big tackle. Huge stop from senior leader on that defensive side. Number 17, middle linebacker, Shad Banks Jr. First tackle for him on the day. Shotgun formation, looking to throw once again. Defense in the backfield. That is a strip sack, and the ball is recovered by the offense. I believe that's Brandon Walker coming off of the left edge. Beat the left tackle that time. Blindside hit, and he's able to knock the ball loose. Excuse me, that's Ty Leonard, number 99. Nice inside rip move to get onto the guard, and then able to beat his man in his secondary pass rush. And now we have a 3rd down and 15 coming up for the visiting Big Ten Terrapins. Shotgun formation, tight end set up as a wing to the right side, 2 receivers to his left. Looking to throw. Pressure comes up from the middle. Caden Roberts Day, big number 97. Going to put a big stamp on this series. Disappointing without any points from the offense, but the defense, who's only given up 3 points so far on the season, week 1 against the number 21 ranked Texas A&M Aggies. UTSA will get the Maryland Terrapins off the field and get the ball back to Owen McCown, Robert Henry Jr., Devin McEwen, and their offense. Special teams has been special so far this season for the Roadrunners as well. Coach Stonewall Merritt's philosophy of always doing the little things has resulted in a couple of punt return touchdowns. Mekhi Anderson from his own 35 makes a nice move along the sideline heading towards midfield. He'll get stumped up at the 48-yard line. That is where UTSA will set up for the second time today. Houston Thomas set up in the wing to the right-hand side. Read option here. McCown keeps it. Not really a good decision either way on that one. We are going to get our first injury of the game as Michael Harris, number 31 for Maryland, is going to be helped off with an injury. That'll bring up 2nd and 11 as McCown wasn't able to get back to the line of scrimmage. He is athletic, but it's normally within the scheme, and that time Maryland had that one played perfectly. Shotgun formation here, lots of receivers, and we get a screen set up to the right side. That's number 20, Henry Jr., to the 40-yard line, makes out the first down yardage, and he'll get knocked out of bounds across midfield at the Maryland 39. Trips formation to the right side with 2 tight ends. We're going to see one of those tight ends here, Houston Thomas, been a huge bright spot as the junior gets another first down for UTSA's offense. Houston Thomas, I believe, 5 catches in week 1, followed that up with another 3 really important catches last week. Is now Amador Jr. unable to hold on to this one, heading towards about the 10-yard line over the middle. The contact just enough to dislodge that one there. UTSA was under the radar to start the season, as now we get a handoff out of the pistol formation. Robert Henry Jr., nice move down into the middle of the field, and he'll be taken down inside the 10-yard line all the way to the 7, as UTSA's offense finding a little bit of rhythm, and they're marching their way towards this goal line. I don't think there was a lot mentioned about this UTSA team preseason, unless you were reading our blogs, which you can go check out on feotvpod.org, as now we have McCown from the shotgun. RPO play here. Goes to his right with Mekhi Anderson. Touchdown, Roadrunners! There is the first touchdown of the day. That one goes to senior standout wide receiver number 38, Decorian Clark, on the RPO play. Just a quick little out route. Gets the 7 yards he needed to the goal line. And Owen McCown starting off his day 5 of 8 for 53 yards and a touchdown. Just under a minute in the first quarter, and we're going to see UTSA take a 7-0 lead over their visiting opponent. As I was mentioning, not many people had them on their radar, but the players at this level, they thrive once you put a little bit of watering on that seed, and that's all Clay Merritt has done. He's watered these plants. He has these guys playing his brand of football, and their talent is starting to shine through. As on the kickoff there, Maryland gets stopped inside their 20-yard line, so going from bad to worse. 2 sacks to finish this first offensive series And we see the UTSA defense back on the field. Screen play set up to the left side. That one going to get forward for a couple of yards, but put it out to the 20. That is Jamie Farouk, number 1 on the reception. Shotgun formation, trips set up to the right side. We're going to get a handoff, left side. Nice spin move there. He had the defender flying out of his shoes, flew almost all the way out of the screen as he was trying to chase down the running back. First down for the Terrapins. That'll be their second of the day so far. Making some changes at the line of scrimmage, trying to adjust and find an opening. That one, ball's on the turf. It's scooped up by Kane Roberts-Day, number 97 at the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Roadrunners. The big man goes flying. All of a sudden, things have shifted here in the Alamo City. The visiting Maryland Terrapins go from 7-0, heading towards the end of the first quarter. Sacked by Cameron Blaylock. Scoop and score from Kane Roberts-Day. A defense that gives up 3 points for your first 2 games of the season, as the extra point from Chambers is good. When they can produce offensively as well as take points off the board defensively, you have a team that is not just good in your conference, not just good in your region, not just a Cinderella story. This is a team that might be built to stay. Kickoff this time fielded at about the 5-yard line. We're going to get the ball out across the 21 to the 22-yard line. Setting up from the right hash mark are Maryland. Play action. Going to leave the ball with his running back and Kane Roberts-Day following up the scoop and score. That is his 3rd tackle for loss in this game. Already had the big sack on 3rd down in the first series. Spread formation from Maryland. Here we go, play action fake. And on the edge there, Maryland's offensive line is reeling right now, and that's 2 big tackles for loss in the backfield. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. 3 minutes of possession time, 50 rushing yards, 53 passing yards, 1 third down conversion, and a touchdown. Also throwing a missed field goal from 50 plus. That is where the UTSA Roadrunners stand here, hosting a Power 4 opponent for the second time, playing a Power 4 opponent for the second time this season, hosting them for the first time in the Alamo Dome in front of 45,000 Roadrunners fans. Pass caught, receiver unable to keep his feet in bounds, and Knotts had a little bit of an opening to make it closer to the first down marker. Instead, we get a 4th down and 12 and the second punt of the day for Maryland. Mekhi Anderson, big return on his first attempt. Able to find his seam. He splits a couple of defenders. He's at the 30, the 20, the 15. Beats the punter at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Roadrunners! So far, offensively, UTSA has ran a total of 8 plays, yet they are ahead of their opponent right now, 20-0, thanks to a scoop and score on defense. And the second, I will repeat that, second punt return touchdown of the season from number 33, Mekhi Anderson. The young sophomore proved why he needed to be on the active roster, on the traveling team. He had a couple of big returns against Texas A&M in College Station week 1, making his presence known all over Texas at this point, not just in the San Antonio area. He's known in San Marcos as well, and now Maryland is going to get very familiar with number 33 as we get a kickoff from Chambers. This one going to land inside the 5, and we get a return set up from there. Good coverage from the kickoff team. And once again, Maryland is going to start from inside their own 20. 0 offensive production outside of 2 first down plays so far in this game. That one, quick screen to the tight end. And Banks, along with a couple of secondary members, going to make the tackle for a gain of 6, bringing up a 2nd down and 4. Trips formation to the right side. Tight end now in the split instead of lined up on the line. Defensive line getting there. That's going to be a sack. Number 31, Vic Shaw, with his 4th sack of the season, first one here this afternoon. Maryland needs a big difference from their offensive line if they have any shot of getting back in this game and not making this thing be embarrassing. Shaw, recruited as a linebacker when Coach Merritt's defense took over. He's transitioned to be more of a pass rusher from that defensive end position, the right edge, left edge of the defense. And he gets to the quarterback for the first time this year. Here we go again. Shaw in the quarterback's face, and he's going to get back-to-back sacks. Maryland is going to owe their quarterback a nice steak dinner. Their offensive line, that is. The offensive line coach is not going to want to show up to work on Monday, as now they've given up 5 sacks on the day. One of them was a scoop and score fumble, and Vic Shaw just ended your series in back-to-back plays with 2 huge sacks, bringing up 4th down and 17, and your 4th punt of the day. Let's see if they give Anderson another chance. Anderson from his 42. Nice juke move at midfield, and he's able to pick up a few extra yards in the Maryland territory. That'll be down at the 43-yard line for McCown and the Roadrunners. Only the 3rd offensive series of the game so far here in the 2nd quarter. Screenplay goes to Amador II, number 18. He's down the sideline. Nice spin move there at the 15, and he's able to get past the 10, almost to the 5. He'll be officially spotted at the 7-yard line. Nice little bubble screen off the RPO action there. You can tell teams have started to take notice of Robert Henry out of the backfield, and they don't want him to be the reason why the UTSA Roadrunners beat you. Unfortunately for them, McCown and the receivers have been just as good, as Amador II gets his 2nd pass in as many plays, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Roadrunners! Striking the Heisman pose is a bold statement as a sophomore receiver, but Amador II has been nothing short of spectacular from his slot position, adding another layer of this offense where they can attack both the outsides with Devin McEwen and Decorian Clark. Both also have a touchdown catch on the day. Excuse me, one of them has a touchdown catch on the day. McEwen has had a couple big plays from that 1st series. And now Amador II gets involved from the slot position. We have Houston Thomas from the tight end, Robert Henry Jr. out of the backfield. So far, there's been, outside of a couple plays where the offensive line has given up a sack to a team that's much bigger than they are physically, this has been a damn near perfect start to the season through 3 weeks. Frankie the Horn Calderon here on 94.3 The Bird. 3:12 left in the 2nd quarter of this matchup between undefeated underdogs, both searching for some respect. One team right now is definitely earning that respect as the kickoff return for the 5th time today is only returned out to the 12-yard line, excuse me. Pistol formation with 2 tight ends for Maryland. This is the first time we've seen 12 personnel as the quarterback feeling some pressure, and he's going to be brought down for the sack on the play. Johnny Bowens III and Kay and Roberts Day staying busy, staying involved. These guys are making their presence felt in a big way, and Maryland is going to need a whole lot of regrouping to try and figure something out from this pass rush. There hasn't been that many blitzes called. If you've been watching, Coach Merritt and this defense has been playing it pretty vanilla, pretty straight up. They're a better man coverage team than zone coverage team. But with that, they're making the quarterback hold the ball as we get motion here to a double twin set handoff on the draw play, and that one snuffed out before it starts. Both defensive tackles, Cameron Blaylock, number 93, and Kay Roberts Day, number 97, in on the stop. Inside their own 7-yard line, Maryland sets up 3rd and 16. From his own end zone, he fires, finds his running back open in the corner there, heading towards the sideline. Nolan Ray had a nice run on the other end of the field. Not able to make it past the 1st down marker. We're going to see a 4th and 1 and the 5th punt of the day from Maryland. Mekhi Anderson, not as much of a return set up on this one since they were closer to the 1st down marker. He doesn't get much on that return. After returning a punt for a touchdown, he is stopped, and UTSA and Owen McCown is going to start only for the 2nd time from their own territory. Because we're going to get a screen pass to Houston Thomas from his tight end position. Nice little opening along the sideline there, 12-yard gain and a 1st down. Going to bring us to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes left to go in the half here on 94.3 The Bird. Thank you very much for tuning in on the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel for this broadcast, as we're going to get a pass play here out of the pistol formation, and Maryland returns the favor for their 1st sack of the game. Free safety, able to sneak his way through the Roadrunner offensive line. Is now McCown starting to put some pace to his offense. Goes deep for Decorian Clark. He's almost decapitated in the middle of the field, trying to dive and make a play, unable to hold on to it. Now we get 3rd down and 17. 2 weeks in a row that the initial 2-minute drill has not looked good for this Roadrunners team. As now Owen McCown finds a hole in the defense. Amador II, number 18, spin move at the 27. He fights off a couple more tacklers, doesn't really gain any more yards, but he will be down inside Maryland territory, and now we have our second 3rd down conversion of the day, this one from 17 yards away. The junior lefty quarterback, transfer from Colorado, Owen McCown, son of Josh McCown, finds Corian Clark on the wide receiver bubble screen, and a good juke move there. He's taken down inbounds at the 14-yard line, but we are once again marching towards the goal line. 1:19 and counting. Handoff goes to Robert Henry Jr., makes the man miss at the line of scrimmage. And he finds a nice little 7-yard gain to find their way down inside the 10. And we're going to get another injury for Maryland, and that will be also costing them a timeout. 2nd down and 3 from the 7. They can get the 1st down without gaining a touchdown. That handoff goes to Robert Henry Jr. to the right side, and he gets forward for about a gain of 2, bringing up 3rd down and 1 from the 5. If they make it to the 4, they have 4 more tries at the end zone. That one, Houston Thomas right at the goal line, and the catch is made. Touchdown, Roadrunners. Little stick route right in the middle of the field. We mentioned Amador II making a presence in the middle of the field from his slot position. Houston Thomas is the other side of that equation. And Thomas with his 3rd touchdown of the season. That pushes the lead for the Roadrunners to 34, pending Chambers' extra point, which is up and good. Under a minute left to go in the half. Maryland brought an undefeated record into the Alamo City, trying to fight for respect just as much as UTSA and Coach Merritt's boys are. But they have failed miserably in that regard. Kickoff is going to land at the 3. We're going to get a return set up along the hash mark. Nice break of a tackle there, but he's not able to get any more yardage out of it. That'll be a kickoff return to the 11-yard line. UTSA with all 3 timeouts. Maryland has 2 timeouts remaining as they set up in the shotgun. Handoff. Nice juke move. Finds a little bit of space along the right edge of that defensive line. Shaw from his edge position lost the contain there. Defense able to rally and get a tackle for loss. And we are going to get 2nd down and 11. Pistol formation for the Terrapins. Looking to throw, fires, quick pass to the tight end on a stick route of their own. He's going to get taken down in the middle of the field. No timeout called for Maryland, so we're going to let the clock run here, see what Coach Merritt wants to do, if he wants to give his offense another chance and maybe see if he can push this lead over 40. Halfback goes in motion, snap in the shotgun. Defensive line, once again, too much for the Maryland offensive line, and we're going to get the 7th sack of the day. That is Johnny Bowen's technically half a sack. He's at 1.5 on the day. We're going to get the 6th punt from Maryland, and I believe it's the 4th punt from his own end zone. Mekhi Anderson from the midfield logo finds a little bit of space and gets the offense to set up at the 35 of Maryland. 20 seconds to go on the clock, 2 timeouts for Coach Merritt's offense. Stack formation out left, Houston Thomas in the wing to the right. Pass is going to go to number 88, Houston Thomas. Ooh, nice juke move through the middle of the field. Gaining a lot of yardage on 1st down. That is, if you can break tackles, you can play the 2-minute drill in the middle of the field. Owen McCown trusts his guys, and he has a nice little play there. 14 seconds, they get the timeout, 1 remaining, and we're going to get 1st down and 10 from the 14. That one to the end zone to Corian Clark for the 2nd time today. Touchdown, Roadrunners. 10, count them, 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Coach Merritt is not letting off whatsoever. He wants this team to know this is not how they play for a half. This is how they're going to try and play for the entire game. They have not let off the gas pedal once. The only time they've been held out of the end zone was on their very first drive of the game. Chambers adds the extra point. 2 plays, 35 yards, 10 seconds. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. 42-0 is our score. As this one going to get kicked about 2 yards deep in the end zone. We're still going to get a kick return. And the spin move that goes nowhere will bring you out to the 12-yard line. Lots of happy fans in the crowd as they come out to support their Roadrunners here in the Alamo Dome. Member of the American Conference hosting Maryland out of the Big Ten. Play action fake to the receiver. Handoff goes to the running back. This one is just going to run out the remainder of the clock until halftime. And Maryland is going to see if they can regroup. We'll see what coaching strategies they can come up with. Coach Merritt, you know that he's going to stick his point home. He wants his boys to stay going in the way that they are. Houston Thomas with a huge first half. 4 catches, 51 yards, and a touchdown. Big halves as well from McEwen. 3 catches on that opening series. Decoria Clark has 2 touchdowns on the day. Amador II, I believe, has 1 touchdown and a couple of other big plays. That's 3rd and 17 conversion. Robert Henry Jr., the lone star from this offense, yet to find the end zone, but I have to feel like he's gonna find a way to get in, and for at least a touchdown. If I have my way, it'll probably be 2. We would like to know what you think of our Rise of the Roadrunners series so far. Obviously not what many people expected, unless you were part of the camp that was welcoming and watching the practices here in San Antonio. Coach Clay Merritt can coach football now, and his boys are playing above their talent level. They're playing together as a unit. Chambers ready to kick it away for the start of the second half. As we get the third quarter with the kick return, Maryland, a little bit of space, nice blocks there, and that's the biggest return of the day out to the 20-yard line. Do you believe in this Roadrunners team, or are they going to find a slip-up point later on in the season as now we get backups in the game for Maryland? Jackson Hamilton, number 15, the freshman quarterback, known for his elite running ability, not as much for his passing ability, as he's able to find 4 yards in the middle of the field. Maryland's offensive line, their starters are not going to be able to block these guys. No way their backups can. That's another sack. That brings the total up to 9. And Kay and Robert today adding to a performance that's seen a touchdown from a screen score, and now I believe he's up to 3 sacks. Absolutely eating this offensive line for breakfast. 3rd and 14. 0 conversions on 3rd down for Maryland today. What does Hamilton have? Finds a receiver, but nice coverage. You can tell Coach Merritt's boys are disciplined. That contact, enough to dislodge the ball there. That was not the prettiest pass in the world. Wasn't necessarily on target. And we're going to get the 7th punt from Maryland. It'll be our first time seeing the Roadrunners offense in this second half. As we mentioned during the halftime show, Robert Henry Jr., the only UTSA Roadrunner not to have a score that's been consistent of the season, is Anderson, able to make the punt return out to the 41-yard line. And here comes number 13, McCown, in the shotgun with Houston Thomas in the wing to his left. Trips out left, and we're going to get Thomas in motion now. Pistol formation to the right-hand side. A play action fake, and ball goes to Thomas. That's his 5th catch of the afternoon. And that'll be a gain of 4 on the quick RPO screen. 2nd and 6 from the Maryland 38-yard line. Play action, McCown observing, and he's going to go to his trusty tight end one more time. That's going to bring up 3rd down in inches. This will only be the third down that UTSA has had to face. That one handoff from Robert Henry Jr. Comes up a little bit lame on that left side. Looks like something happened when he was lowering his shoulder to finish the run there. We know he likes contact, but his left shoulder looks like it's giving him problems. He's not going to be in the game for this upcoming play. We're going to see number 27, John Emery Jr., who gets the handoff here running along the right side. Doesn't find much daylight, but he moves the ball forward to the 17, 2nd down and 6. John Emery Jr., also a senior in the backfield. McCown, obviously the junior transfer quarterback who led his team to a bowl victory in the 2024 season, as Emery Jr. breaks the tackle and gets across 1st down yardage. And we're going to get yet another injury in this game. Noah Carrington on the defensive line for Maryland is going to be taken out for the upcoming play. 14 yards on the day so far on 2 carries for John Emery Jr. First down and goal from the 7. Handoff, sweep to the right side. Corner does a nice play. Braden Lee able to beat DeCorian Clark on the block there, and he stops John Emery Jr. at the 4-yard line to force second and goal. Maryland's defense not giving any easy touchdowns on this drive. That time, guard right, push right back into the face of John Emery Jr., and that's going to be a loss of yardage. Jaden Ships credited with the tackle, but the right guard pushed right back in the face of the running back that time. Robert Henry Jr. in the game, as a decoy it seems, had a nice block and pass coverage. Touchdown, Roadrunners! Slant that time goes to Devin McEwen, who's been quiet since that first series, hasn't really been looked at for much, but when you forget about him, when he is not featured as prominently, when everybody else is having as big of a day as they are, Owen McCown, now with 5 passing touchdowns for the second week in a row, finds his fellow captain, Devin McEwen, for the touchdown. 49-0, your score. Kickoff goes to the 4-yard line, in between the hash and the numbers. That's where the kickoff return started. Almost made it out to the 20-yard line. That tackle is going to be made at the 18. Because the yardage stats are going to look a little bit skewed because sacks count against rushing yards. But if we go based on the numbers, Maryland's sitting right now at minus 45 yards rushing. Is that pass good for 3 yards? That's going to be the first completion of Jackson's day today. He's in relief following the 42-0 score at halftime. That pass broken up. Good coverage once again. Clay Merritt understands the strength of his defense. He's kept his defense pretty much in man-to-man coverage all game. And what people thought was going to be a mismatch between the receivers and the secondary has been one, but just in the opposite ways. Now we get a long bomb down the left side. That one intercepted. Number 30, cornerback, taking the ball back to the 30-yard line, all the way down to the 20 on the return. What a play. Martin with his first interception of the season, only the second interception for this Roadrunners defense. That's the second turnover of the day. That was almost 2 defensive touchdowns in one game. David Martin having himself a day in coverage, and he gets his first INT of the season on the freshman quarterback. Nice little spin move from the sophomore there. You can tell these players are liking the system that Merritt has them running. McCown, play action, screen to Amador II. Couple missed tackles. And now we're going to see an injury for UTSA, Houston Thomas, grabbing at his hamstring. Big play for the offense, but if Thomas is out for an extended time, that's going to put a damper on things. We'll see how much longer Coach Merritt has the starters in the game. Henry Jr. still in the game. He gets the handoff on what looked like could have been a screen option there. I don't think there was any yardage gained on that one, so it's going to be second and goal from the 5. Houston Thomas out for the remainder of this game with leg cramps. We will not see him return in the 4th quarter. Down, surveying. He's able to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage, but that will technically be counted as a sack. So that is the second sack of the day for this Maryland defense. And that will be the last play of the 3rd quarter, bringing us to the final frame of this undefeated underdog battle. Well, what started as a battle, what's turned into more of just a beat. Offensive numbers are not going to be quite as gaudy as we've seen from the UTSA team so far on this season. They've had help. A couple of big defensive plays, interception returned all the way back to the 20-yard line, scoop and score fumble from Kay and Roberts Day in the 1st quarter. And here we sit at 49-0 to start quarter number 4. That pass quickly to Amador II, and he's tackled right along the goal line's edge. It's going to bring up 4th and goal. And I believe Coach Merritt's sending on the kicker, Brock Chambers, who missed one from 50-plus earlier. I think this is just a way to get his confidence back and also be a sportsman. You don't need to absolutely embarrass your team. Yes, they came to your house. Yes, they thought they could play with you. All of those things ended up not being good things for them, but you don't need to embarrass them on the way out. Brock Chambers good with the short field goal, and that's going to push the score to 52-0. here on 94.3 The Bird. Thank you for joining us on the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel for this broadcast. My name is Frankie the Horn Calderon, having the time of my life here in the Alamo City as we get set for the American Conference play starting next week, hosting the second Power 4 team on the schedule after upsetting number 21 Texas A&M at Kyle Field. We are now seeing Maryland be absolutely dismantled by Coach Clay Stonewall Merritt in this UTSA offense and defense. All around. Special teams, play action, looking to throw here. Defensive line, once again, sacking the quarterback, causing a fumble. And we're going to get a safety added on to this total. Jackson unable to hold on to the ball from the sack after being crushed by Brandon Tucker. And I believe that is going to be the last that we see of the starters for UTSA on offense and on defenses. They're going to finish with a safety, end up scoring 54 points after not scoring any points on their first drive. An absolute turnaround statement being made.
Returner is tackled at the 46.
That punt safety return will come out to the 46-yard line, and this is where we're going to see the backups for UTSA take over. John Emery Jr. now back in the game and gets his fourth carry. We'll bring it forward for about 4 yards there. Second down and 6 from the midfield stripe. Pistol formation, 2 tight ends in the game. And we're going to get a stretch play to the right side. Emery across midfield. I believe he's going to get spotted past the first down marker. That's going to bring his yardage total up for the day to 25. He went out of bounds, so the clock will start on the snap. And now we have a pass over the head of the intended target. A little bit of early contact, it looks like. And that is going to be the call. Pass interference on the Maryland Terrapins. So incomplete pass for a good reason that time, and now first down and 10 from the 32 are the UTSA Roadrunners. From the pistol formation, Emery up the gut of the defense. He's only going to make it about 3 yards of territory, and we're going to get yet another injury timeout. Maryland might want to think about taking some of the air guys off the field. Messiah DeLone, the strong safety. We'll see if we have him return at all for the final 4 minutes. Emery Jr. on the sweep to the right side. Juke moved back into the defense. Not a bad move, but it is going to bring up 3rd down and 3. Two backfield formation from the shotgun. Handoff after the motion, goes up the middle, and we're going to get a Roadrunner touchdown. It doesn't matter who's on the field, apparently. The Roadrunners don't care. Maryland will tell people about us. Texas A&M will tell people about us. When Texas State is smart enough to realize that we are the program, that this new wave of college football is here to stay. Amarian Peterson, number 29, on the 25-yard touchdown run.
The kicker on for the extra point.
Extra point is good, and that's going to push the total to 61 points. This UTSA Roadrunners broadcast on the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel and 94.3 The Bird is brought to you by the Far End of the Bench podcast with Jimmy Pilato and Nico Bryant. You can listen to new episodes live every Thursday, both on YouTube as well as all of your other podcasting platforms. There is a chance Frankie the Horn Calderon or Clay Stonewall Merritt make an appearance. They have been doing a good job of talking about us, and they are graciously giving us their feed to broadcast our games. As Maryland with the ball, and they get their 3rd first down of the day on that completed pass to the tight end. First down and 10 from the 36-yard line. They were able to hold the shutout last week, as now that pass in and out of the hands of the intended target. Jackson not getting much help from his fellow Terrapins on trying to eat into any of this deficit. You don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to be the team that can say they win yet another game without scoring against this Roadrunners team. That doesn't matter right now as we get a sack back by number 98, Buxton. From his defensive tackle position, this interior of the offensive line is going to remember the names of Jamean Buxton, Cameron Blaylock, and Kaden Roberts-Day, as that's Buxton's first sack of the season, his first of the day. Normally in the second rotation, but when you're up by 61, everybody's going to get a chance to get on the field. 3rd and 17. And that's going to bring us to the 2-minute timeout, as they were not able to get the snap off before the clock stopped. From the 29, let's see what Maryland has in store for this game. From the shotgun, trying to escape the pocket. He's sacked once again, and the ball's on the turf. It's going to be recovered by Jamean Buxton. When you have players take over series and they can trade off who's going to take over which series, you know you have a damn good football team. Kaden Roberts-Day took over a series earlier with a sack and then a scoop and score. Jamean Buxton, a sack on the play and then recovering the fumble from the quarterback, setting up his offense with awesome field position. 1:56 left to play in this game from the 17-yard line, ahead by 61. And we're going to get a pass on the first down play. Looked like an RPO option there. DJ Allen on the receiving end of that one, all the way down to the 4-yard line. 1st and goal. Clock continues to run. Handoff, John Emery Jr. trying to get in on the right side there. Not able to make it to the goal line, but he gets it forward for a 2-yard gain. Cutting the distance in half. And setting up 2nd and goal from the 2. Shotgun snap, handoff right side once again. Emery Jr. leveled on his lower body, but he flies into the end zone. And we're going to have an offensive lineman also down on the play. So what I thought was going to be an injury to John Emery Jr., he gets his first touchdown. Actually, I believe it's the 2nd touchdown of the season. First touchdown in a couple weeks. And the Roadrunners are going to add to their total, averaging over 55 points a game. This one, no different than last week. They have scored 58 points and now 68 points in 2 games at home, heading into their conference schedule. I don't think that there's a team better set up for running through their conference, possibly making it to their conference championship game for the first time, I might add. They were close last year, but were not able to make it to the American Conference Championship. And if you win your conference championship as a group of 5 team, the sky is the limit once you make the dance. Kickoff fielded 2 yards in the end zone. That one taken out to the 12-yard line. 4 weekly updates, blogging content, and all of the videos. Make sure you follow and subscribe to @FEOTBpod on all social media platforms, including YouTube. And you can keep up with everything Rise of the Roadrunners here on 94.3 The Bird and the Far of the Bench YouTube channel. Under 30 seconds and counting to play. 2nd down and 3. Jackson looking to throw, scrambling. And who do you think you are trying to test the middle like that? Don't you know Jamean Buxton ain't letting anybody pass today? Another huge play from the big defensive tackle. 2nd sack of the day, had the fumble recovery to end the last series. And the band is playing loud once again. I don't know if we're going to get one more play from Maryland or if they're just going to tuck their tail and run. They're set up to run a play. Snap is away with 10 seconds. Deep shot down the side. And the receiver is unable to corral this one. That'll be another failed 3rd down conversion. 4th down and 7. I believe this is the 8th punt of the day for Maryland. And it will be the last play of the game. 1 punt return touchdown on the day. Can they end the game with yet another special teams contribution? The answer is a quick no, but the UTSA Roadrunners continue their undefeated season with a 68-0 victory over the visiting Big Ten Maryland Terrapins. Owen McCown, have yourself 2 weeks in a row, half a month, whatever you want to call it. 10 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. Robert Henry Jr. unfortunately not able to find the end zone on his own. We are going to send it back to the studio. Jimmy Pilato there in the Far End of the Bench studios. Thank you very much for tuning in. To myself, Frankie the Horn Calderon. We will see you guys the next time. Always bringing the energy, always bringing the insight, always bringing the excitement. Frankie the Horn Calderon there on 94.3 The Bird and the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel. He said it a couple of times. We appreciate the shout out from the fictional College Football 26 universe that I've created. I know it's my own thing, but we're trying. We're making it seem as normal as possible. We had a huge day from the UTSA Roadrunners as they dominate the visiting Maryland Terrapins, ending up in victory 68-0. 2 back-to-back home victories for UTSA and Coach Clay Merritt heading into the American Conference schedule. They are set up right now. If they can win out, they can make their conference championship game. They have the ability to be within the top 12 of the country and possibly make a push to be on the bracket. Once you make the bracket, who knows what happens from there. First steps first, win your conference games. Get ready for next week. Don't celebrate this one too long. Keep going with whatever you're doing on defense, because now you've gone 8 quarters in a row without giving up a touchdown. And let's continue to watch the rise of the Roadrunners. Make sure you check out the Far End of the Bench podcast with myself, Jimmy Pilato, Nico Bryant. For everybody here at the Rise of the Roadrunners series, thank you very much for tuning in. We will see you next week for week 4 of the Rise of the Roadrunners. Meep, meep.
If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.